Hi guys, or should I say salut mon ami, because today we are finally reviewing the French team. I couldn't wait to do this one. I think where Ireland have been very boring, the French have gone very exciting. Um, so I cannot. This is the one I've been looking forward to the most. And it's France are playing Wales. What I'm going to do is I'm going to release the Ireland review, then I'll release the England one the same day, and then I'll try and get each team that's playing each other. I'll review it and I'll release it on the same day. So Ireland and England on the same day, France and Wales on the same day. I know France are playing first with Wales, but not doing them in any particular order. And then I'll do Scotland and Italy as well. And I'm just gonna share the top 14 page. See how well my leavings are French has stood up. Right, let's show you now. To la statistique the top 14, top 14, not top 14, should I say. So all the statistics of the top 14. I've still got it. So meilleur marqueur of the drop. So that'd be drop goals. Sam Simmons' brother here. He has the most. And meilleur marqueur d'essai, most tries. Essayer is the verb to try. I always remember that. My French teacher before, shout out to Miss O'Dwyer, legend. She was very impressed with me before because I remember her saying the verb to link, which is lier. I remember going, "Oh, I was watching Top 14, and the referee says flexion, lier, je." Crouch, bind, set, flexion, lier, je. So, flex, crouch, bind, lier, bind or link. It means link, but and then je is just play, go. So Drayan, I've seen him a bit for too long. They're on the up again, which is good to see. I want to look at this one first because there's a few players here that I know. There's a couple of the French lads. Jalanche, Fiku, Falgu, is that his name? I think. Oh, there's Willemse. Don't know a few of them. Well, I can't see their heads. Olivon's missing. It's a big loss. Let's look at the top try scorers. Gail Drayan, 11 tries in 10 matches, not bad. And look at that as well. So like Sorelli Mangala for Bayonne, Aveyron, Bayonne. He's a good player. He plays fullback and wing. I've seen for Fiji, the Fijian lad, but he has three more matches than Drayan, and Drayan still has one more try. So very good. It's also good this page because you can kind of. I always found learning languages. If you're into sport, pick a sport that country loves. And luckily for me, the French love rugby. J'adore le rugby. I've played with a few French lads as well. They're big fellas, the southern French. And as everybody always thinks the French are ignorant. I actually find them grand. I always find that maybe the Parisians, yeah, but I was in Rams. People say Reims, but it's Rams. It's just outside Paris and quiet enough. But nice enough. But well, where we were wasn't. Where we were was shy, but it's a quiet little town. I was in Collier, which is lovely, and it was actually brilliant because my coach in St Mary's, Gareth Maritz, from Johannesburg, he he played under Jake White for a little bit. He's friends with Jake White, who was the director of Montpellier Rugby Club at the time. So it was great. We got to go over and play their under 18 side. And like that's a great experience to say you went and did that. I got to try. I was playing second row, and I remember me and our scrum half had a good understanding of each other's game. He got the ball dummied, then saw me go around the corner, popped it out to me, and I dived over in the corner. One of my proudest moments. It's safe to say they battered us after that. It was great to say you went, and you played. It was like 28 degrees Celsius and very humid. We were dying. Some of the lads had been drinking before the game. But like, would you not have a beer like a Kronenberg, which is a nice enough beer to be fair? Alcohol is very cheap in France, like compared to everything else. They love their gargle. Kronenberg is a good beer. I like it. We drank way too much on that trip. Jeez, we were drinking every day. Loads of desperados, vodka. Um, I decided it'd be a good idea to mix a lot of, the white monster. So it's zero sugar, it's citrusy, and vodka. And I was just topping the thing up all day, topping it up, ugh, trying to get it finished, doing my liver no favors. But that's talking about a trip to France. No, it was just really good, and you get to see how they hate rucking. You know when they say jouer, jouer, jouer. It's real off the cuff type of stuff. The French just love to keep the ball alive. Probably why they have such good nines, such really good scrum halves. But yeah, Louis B. Elbery, not surprised to see him score a lot of tries. I'm just wondering, Allier and then Arriere. I think one is left winger and one is right winger because Drayan plays on the right wing. Ayer, Ayer, yeah, is it Ayer? Usually IER would be EA, EA Sports. ER typically makes an A sound. Nice, easy one, sound. I've seen him play in the wing and fullback, but they've obviously moved him into the centre now. Mangala, Baptiste Couillou, Demi de Malay. It's a nice, easy one, scrum half. You'll have to pardon me if I try and throw in all my French in there. Matches played. Match joué. Teddy Thomas. Yeah, must be because he plays on the right wing. So, yeah, and Dylan Lades plays on the left. So, seems to make sense. IEA and then Arriere. Jack Maddox, the Australian, for Pau, Section Paloise. There's Le Petit General, Baptiste Serran, good player. He can't even get into the squad. That's mad, isn't it? Such a good nine. France are blessed in that area, which everyone keeps saying. Romain Barros, I think he's out the team, is he? He's doing very well. There's a load of Bordeaux lads in there. Oh, and there's our man, Peato Mauvaka. Premier League. They just go with front row, don't they? In France, it's talonneur. What's that mean again? I thought that was hooker now. Premier League. I thought talonneur, for like thrower of the ball. Am I getting that right? I don't know. Any French fans in the comment section below, please let me know. Be much appreciated. Yeah, I won't get too worked up over that, but just wanted to show you. It's impressive. You can see he's the only hooker that's in there, which shows you just how good Mauvaka is. There's nobody in that top list. Everyone's a back. Mad, isn't it? Let's have a look now. Transformation. What's going on here? Right, yeah. This is a really good stat, to be fair. Like, they're showing you everything, like attempted kicks. So you can see here, successful kicks. Demi duveteur, that just means out half. Demi de Malay. Camille Lopez, yeah, I was always impressed with him. Remember him at Clermont? He was a good fly half. France tend to not go with a fly half kicking. Roman Entamak, like he doesn't kick off the tee normally. Jalibert has now for Bordeaux, but I don't know if he will for France. But he won't get in because it'll be Entamak. Leo Berdou has been quite good. But you can see these are all the guys kicking. So your scrum halves and your fly halves will be doing all the kicking. And it also shows you the misses. So that's pretty good. I like the fact that they've done that. Credit to the French. They're giving you the misses as well as the successful kicks. Joe Simmons, Sam Simmons' brother, as we call him. Arriere. Fullback, maybe. Although BL he was Arriere, and he's a winger. He's a left winger. He's not a fullback. Very interesting. I recommend this if you're trying to just brush up on your French. I like Antoine Hastoy. I think he's a good player. Personally, what I would go for, um, I would like to put Thomas Ramos. Again, it says Arriere, and he's definitely a fullback. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. Well, I'm enjoying this now, I have to say. I'm getting stuck in. I'm going to show you all the stats. Most points. Meilleur réalisateur. Matches played, points scored, minutes played. Leo Berdu's doing very well. And this lad's exciting, Nolan Le Garec. Thing is, though, do you go with him and obviously Antoine Dupont will be starting? I mean, does that even, do we even have to say it? Well, Le Garec is so good. They're blessed with scrum halves. I think he's better than Maxime Luku, but you don't want to go for too much of the same player, like the quick playmaker. Dupont can do all that. And then if you want someone to slow the game down, I would go with Luku. We saw Luku last season. He slowed it down too much, and it doesn't really work the French way. They want flair, they want off the cuff rugby. Wants to be fast, when they're coming at you really hard, and it's just one carry after the other. People were saying how unstructured it is, which is why it's so exciting, because you have the big men carrying. There he is. Don't put a picture next to him. The prick. Yeah. Yeah. Ali Hog's a fullback too, Arriere. Again, I'm for left winger. Interesting. Because he plays on the right as well. No, that's just funny. That's interesting. Um, that's very good, actually, I have to say. I don't really know what I was expecting to see with this list, but I am pleasantly surprised. It's good. Plus, I get to brush up on my French. I want to see because these are obviously all kicks. These are all backs now. So, there's Tui Sova. I imagine that'll be most minutes played. I got you here. Time de jeu, time played. Very good. Number of cards. Our man Cameron Wacky. Expecting more forwards to get a mention in this one. It's good though, just to show you, and you can see for yourself. Does he lean? See, number 8 and second row is easy because it's second line. Does he lean? You can find the number 8, just numero wheat, and your number 8's getting sent off. Twazi lean. They don't really do an open side and a blind side flanker. I've heard a few people say that, but it's true. They don't really do it. Very interesting. Up aside, Nangalevu. Always got a red card. Bold boy. Cameron Walkie's been a bold boy too. Must have been that he got 2 yellows and then a red, as opposed to a straight red because he's got 3 carton jaune, which is yellow cards. Carton rouge. New watch top 14. Nombre de carton, number of cards. It's very good and it really breaks it down for you as well. It's just good, like, especially for me, I'm learning the positions. They say keeping the mind sharp. Steve. Like I've gone for an extra E. I just think of Steve Madden, women's shoes, from Wolf of Wall Street. Eve. Semi Radradra. Radradra. I notice English people really trip up with his name. They go Radradra. Now, English people with the speech impediment, they always like to, just saying, what English people like to they like to pick up on the way Irish people speak. There's a bit of irony for you right there. Geez, I can't get the words out. Like they'll say my T's are very sharp, like 33, but then they'll go 33 and semi radradra. The syllables trips them up. It's just radradra. Like a Jonathan Ross type of speech impediment. A fat tongue, as Alan Carr called it. Wangavatu. Yeah, the Q was like a rolling sounding Fijian, I think. He's been a bold boy. Our boy Semi. Francis Saili, yeah. He played at Munster for a while there. Very interesting. And there we are. Let's go back. Yeah, what I'm kind of doing with these, as you can see, is just kind of going through the website, showing you the players with the best statistics. I do gather as well that a lot of players will be away with international duty or also Champions Cup duty, so they won't be playing in the league like with Leinster. They were talking about that. Are they a bit too protected in that regard? I don't know. I guess when you have a different way of doing things, people are saying, are they getting enough game exposure in the big games, like the knockout games? Are they getting enough games throughout the season? I don't know. Certainly an interesting one, though, isn't it? Like, do you play them in the league games, or you just keep them for the big matches like the Champions Cup and international duty? Ireland have tended to protect their players in that regard. South Africa too. They tend to get like, it's very rare that you actually see Etzebeth playing for the Sharks, isn't it? You wonder why they signed him. He's never there. Gets injured so much. Some people were saying he was scared of coming up against Emanuelle Meafou. Everybody was looking forward to seeing that battle. Um, Safe to say, Toulouse won that physical battle hands down. Wasn't a great game. Pretty poor game, like considering all the supposed talent that was on the field. Um, Toulouse never looked like losing, did they? Yes, just look at it here. No real French starters as of yet. Paul Gabriel played last season, but he wouldn't be the top second row. You imagine Thibaut Flamand and Emanuelle Meafou will be the starters. Carbonell, yeah, he's kind of fallen out of favour now with the national team, hasn't he? He was with Toulon before. Dylan Lades, Salisi Royasi. Yeah, won't go any further than the top 20. Top 20. I want to kind of see the most tackles on this site. Let's have a look now. General, I think we've already been in this one. This is all the kickers and oh no, here we are. I know. We are back to that. Let's go now. Turnovers, yes, there we are now. Of course, Jack Willis. They were doing the French spelling, and it was Ouilis. Willis, Le Petit Oiseau. Oiseau. Oiseau was birds. Yeah, geez, I'm really just getting flashbacks to leaving Sir French. Marchand, no surprise. Billy Vanapola, or Viliami. Weird seeing his name like that. Marchand doing well. Him and Peato Mauvaka for Toulouse are just beasts. They're absolute machines. 'Cause, 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 Yeah. Um, so a lot of the stats, a lot of the French starters aren't really there, but yeah, it's like what I was saying before with Irish rugby. So you've got players that aren't playing for their club week in, week out. It's kind of hard to judge, based on the statistics because you'll have the guys who are always away on international duty, so they won't have had as much games played. Some have, but the point I was making was there's a lot of guys who aren't playing at Leinster who are stepping up big time and have really good stats. So like you do have the foundation, which is Leinster, and I get that. Look, every team's going to have it. Of course, you've got Saracens were leading the way. It was basically all Saracens in the England team. So it happens everywhere. Where it was like all Saracens and then everybody else was falling in behind, which is difficult, and it leads to bias and jealousy and all this sort of thing. It's good to have variety. And I think that's what makes South Africa so great is all the variety in their team. You've got lads playing in France, you've got lads playing in South Africa, you've got lads playing in Japan, England. That kind of gives them more of a variety to pick from, because the South African teams have not been doing well this year. Um, Watching Leinster against the Stormers, Stormers are very poor, and they don't have anybody really away with international duty at the moment. So, the Sharks have the most Springboks of any South African team, and they're not doing very well at all. And watching them, they've been poor. They were trashed by Bordeaux, 66-12, was it, or 16? I'm trying to remember, but it was by 50 points anyway. Like they were annihilated by Bordeaux. And Damien Penaud getting 6 tries and 2 assists. He had an incredible game. So without further ado, let's show you the squad because they are stacked. Six Nations squad. This is going to be exciting. Looking forward to this one. And of course, yeah, Rabah Slimani being given a new lease on life by Leinster. It's going to come back to bite us in the ears, you would imagine. Ooh, a few interesting videos already. Usually like to get it on the official web page. Um, so I'll just get that. I'll get France's website up. Get their website. Yep, there we are. Fédération Française du Rugby. There's that cock. Le coq sportif. Like a giddy little kid because just reminding myself of all the French that I learned. And let's take a look at the squad. Equipe, that's the team. I remembered. I like the way they've done it. They also have the sevens, who obviously won a gold medal in the Olympics. Fair play. And then the masculin, feminin. Yeah, fairness, it's well organised, I will say. L'équipe, the squad. Pilier, the props. Yeah, he's been doing very well, Jean Baptiste Gros. And then I would not start George Henri Colomb because while he's good around the field, he's a tight head prop who is terrible at scrummaging. Um, Pilier is a good word for it because it just means basically pillar, and that's what a prop is. They're propping it up. They're a big, strong pillar. We go with Weenie. Weenie. I think you start with this man. There is nobody else. Replace George Henri with Peato Mauvaka, and I think you've got your starting front row right there. He will be missing Ray Wardy, another ban, I think. David Tafu, I don't think is in the Six Nations squad. So I'll just have a look through this now. Talon I was right. Very proud of myself. Gaetan Barlow, Peter Barlow from Coronation Street. It's these two men, though, the Toulouse men who are starting at hooker, no doubt about it. Incredible players. Yeah, and then this man and this man. Again, see, like the foundation of this French team is Toulouse with a few Bordeaux and Stade Rochelet, aka La Rochelle, thrown in there. You pick the most successful teams, like that's fair enough. I get that. It's just you need to have something else on top of that, which is what I'm saying with Ireland. Variety is the spice of life, as they say. But these are the two you go for, and then Michael Guia. Tell me if I'm pronouncing that right. Now the double L is pronounced like a Y sound, like Juillet is July. So it's all coming back. Seeing him a little bit quite young, and I don't know much about him. I know Romain Taofifenua was a big barreling bastard, and it's a good replacement to have for Meafou because um, Flamand has a great work rate, like a really good engine on him. Meafou has the brute force and strength, as does Taofifenua. Thought Taofifenua was retiring soon, like Uini Atonio, but let's see, there's a Lenny Nucci. I watched him playing for the French under 20s against Ireland. They really made the Irish team look like boys, men versus boys. Like, look at him. He's a couple of years younger than me. And then he's impressive. He plays for Montpellier, and he's a good lad. He's a really impressive player. Francois Crowe and Paul Boudhent would be my starting blind side. I know they don't really do blind side in France or open side, but Francois Crowe is more of an open side, and Paul Boudhent, look at those arms. And he can slot in the second row as well. He's a big physical presence. I would start him at 6, Francois Crowe at 7. No Jalanche in there, unless they put him as a number 8. Killian, good Irish name there. Olivon is out injured, which is a real pity. Then Gregory. Nah, he's your only man at 8, I think, numero 8. Marco Gazzotti. I've heard about him. Haven't really seen him though. I think he plays for Montpellier as well, if I'm not mistaken. Alexandre Roumat plays for Toulouse. He's quite good. He's about 6'8" or something. He's a big fella. Um, I think that's what France do very well is a big pack, and I think that's what they're going to need to bring. It's something a bit different. It's exciting. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. The big muscle men showing up in the area where they're stacked. Let's look at that. Yeah, 4 really good. Demi de Malaise, scrum abs. Maxime Luca looks like a French hitman, doesn't he? I can just picture him with a little earpiece in and getting his sniper rifle. Looks like a hitman for hire. And these two lads are the skill set, and then La Petite General. So I'm holding his face though like he's being shot, and as I leave that out now, Baptiste. Jalibert, Demi Duvateur. I'm gonna have to go in and have a look at the proper Six Nations squad because there's a few players that are injured and will be missing, such as this man, which means Fraser from Munster. He's very good, So anyone watching the ORC will know him and know how good he is. Ali, I always thought I'm just gonna go back into it. Harry, so they going right wing and left wing, or what's the crack here? He was always more of a centre, I thought. Yoram Moefana. I never really fancied him out on the wing. I thought he was a bit slow, and every time he got the ball, he was looking to come in the centre. Do you know what I mean? Which left loads of space out on the left wing. I prefer him as a centre, but we shall see in the little terrier that is Gabon Villiers. Boros is out. I'm thinking of Christophe Boreas, the coach on the sideline, the big fella, when the French coaches are down on the sideline all the time. Frank Azema, you always see him down there. Leo Barre, I was impressed with him. Now I've watched him a few times. I think he's a very good player, very skillful. BL Barre has the pace, like just so much pace. So quick. Yeah, Arriere and Arriere fullback, Thomas Ramos. Said I prefer him as a fly half, but with Melvin Jaminet saying something crazy and stupid, he's gotten himself in a lot of trouble. So they even have anti-dopage, or rugby health as well. This is a really good page. Jeez, well done. You've really done your work, in fairness. Beach rugby. Ooh. Let's have a look at that. Sounds like a lot of fun. Something I'd like to do. Ooh, must give that a watch. Well, yeah, we get out of this now because I want to show you the actual Six Nations team. There we go. Let's have a look now. Right, let's have a look. Reject. Bye bye. Oh, good. Don't know what that's bringing us into. Yeah, Noah Nene is the player that's impressive for Dax and Joshua Brennan, Trevor Brennan's son. Not appreciated enough to bring him over to Ireland, so he will be playing for France. It'd be interesting to see, won't it? Did you ever hear? I think it was Daniel Brennan, great name, FYI, with a thick Dublin accent. I mean, you could say Kildare because that's where Trevor is from. He's from Leixlip. Played for Barn Hall and St Mary's, my old club. So love you, Trevor. Good man. Hardy fella as well, not the norm that you'd select for Ireland. He didn't get an awful lot of caps, and I really don't feel like he was appreciated in Ireland. The French love him. In Toulouse, they absolutely adore him. And Josh is getting in, plays as a second row or back row, just like his dad. Daniel plays as a prop, play for the under 20s French team as well. So interesting stuff, really. And here we go now. Ugo Averdu for Poe. Cyril Boy, I know him. I would go with John Baptiste Grow, and then I would bring Cyril Boy off the bench, give him a bit of time, ease him back into it. Georgie Berrier, Georgian fella, but he's qualified through residency for France. Esteban Abadi, he's like, a dogged sort of back rower, competes for everything. As you say, Toulon have been on the up, they've been doing very well. So that's because of lads like this as well. Matthias Alagahu, Alagahu, Alagahu. French people in the comments, let me know, please. Few players I haven't seen at all playing, but majority of players I have seen playing. I think he played, Gazzotti played for Montpellier, but he plays for Bordeaux now. I'll just have to double check. I'm pretty sure. Because there's a lot of chopping and changing with French players. But I would go with a front row of this man, Uini. Then you would have Peato Mauvaka and Jean Baptiste Gros, who's done a great job. He'd be really good. Danny Priest's in there too. Yeah, so they're quite stacked. Rabas Slimani. I would have him as my replacement tight head, particularly the form that he's been in. And we've gotten to see him for Leinster. He's experienced. He does a great job. And he's proven he can play big minutes. He played 60 plus minutes against Stormers at the weekend just gone. Very impressive player. Very good in the set piece. You're not going to get an awful lot of skill with him, but he is a set piece specialist. And then you've got this man, Dorian Aldegheri, not the fittest player, but demolished Ellis Genge in a scrum. Tavita Tatafu not being there is a big loss. I thought I saw that he wasn't there. He really is. Must be injured because He looked like an up and coming talent, really did. But you would imagine they'll go with a starting front row of Jean-Baptiste Gros, Peato Mauvaka, Uini Atonio, Thibaut Flamand, Emanuelle Meafou, Paul Boudhent, Francois Crow, and then big man Gregory Aldry. He'll either captain them or Antoine Dupont, either one, but one of them be the vice captain. Both so good. Anthony Jalonch, is he not in there either? Uh, be an interesting player to leave out. That's the thing with the Toulouse back row. They kind of just get on with the job in hand. They do what they need to do. You don't appreciate them until they're not there. Do you know that kind of way? So they just do their job, and the team works like a well-oiled machine. But when they're not there, you miss them. You don't appreciate them when you have them, and then when they're gone, you're like, oh fuck. But now with the French team, I would go big. Um, Alexandre Ruma. I don't think he's in there either, is he? Oh, interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Taofifenua, I thought I saw him playing for Racing. Yeah, one mistake was such a massive man, and I would imagine he will be on the bench replacing Emanuelle Meafou, two absolute colossal human beings. Yeah, it's going to be a tough ask for Wales against them, that's for sure. The backline is exciting as well. Interesting to see what they do, considering that they have no Gail Fickou and they have no Jonathan Dundee, because that was the centre partnership, like that was the key partnership that they had. So that's going to be an interesting one. You got Moafana, but not really the same caliber of player. But you could have him. You could have Gaetan, who's meant to be extremely good for Paul. I've heard really good things about him. Traian, well, I spoke about him. I think you have to include him considering how good he's been for too long. He's top try scorer in top 14, 11 tries. So I mean, he'll get you tries if you give him a chance. Antoine Frisch, I'd be interested to see. I think he's good enough. Exciting. A few times I've watching him playing for Munster, and he just created something out of nothing. Got two tries against, was it Glasgow? I think it was. It looked like Munster were out of ideas, and he just came up with two brilliant chip kicks and scored two wonderful tries on his own. You'd Nankerville crash balled him, but Frisch was the skill. And I just think to myself, he's so good. That's the exciting thing about France is you don't know what they're going to do. I don't think they know what they're going to do half the time. Although Fabien Galthie is he's got quite a methodical approach. Do you know what I mean? So with a forward pack like what they have, I don't think you need to worry too much. That forward pack will give you the platform you need to absolutely dismantle other teams, which is a scary prospect for anyone coming up against them. And we get to see them in action this Friday. Oh, I cannot wait. This man is in like top form. He's absolutely on fire. Damien Penaud, brilliant player. And the thing with Damien Penaud as well is because he carries the ball in his left arm but plays on the right wing. Allier, Arriere, I don't know which one. But what was really good about him is that he comes in off that right wing, so he can stay out there, and he's tall, he's physical, but his dominant arm is his left arm, so he cuts in off that wing all the time. And if you remember the try he scored against Ireland last year, even though France were terrible, that weapon, just whipping the ball in behind and him sliding through the gap, cutting Ireland open in the midfield. He's always lurking, he's not content just to stay out on the wing. And they played him at centre now a few times, but when you score 6 tries in one game and then 2 assists, you prove why you're a winger. So he will undoubtedly be the starting right winger. Be interesting now. I would say Thomas Ramos goes a fullback. Melvin Jaminet has gotten himself in a lot of trouble, so we won't even discuss that. But Leo Barre is a very good player. I like him. He plays fullback as well, which I'm excited about because you could potentially stick him at fullback and he's very competent under the high ball. He's very skillful as well, a great ball carrier. I just think Thomas Ramos, he's not the best defender in the world, but what he gives you in attack is so good, and he kicks everything. He rarely misses any kicks. That would be my team. I wouldn't start with Ntamack. I don't actually think he's as good as everybody makes out, and he has a great platform. Ntamack's not great under the high ball. I've seen him a few times drop the ball. When he plays well, but he can be hot and cold. He doesn't convince me, put it that way. Tomo Ramos, the opposite, really convinces me. And then if you had Leo Barre, but they're flushed with options. And then Nicolas Deporter is really good. Like he was the captain for the under 20 squad not that long ago. I was showing you Lenny Nucci. This man played in the wing for France and the centre. He looked incredible. Really good. If he played at 13, he would be feeding Damien Penaud the ball. They have a great understanding. They play together at Bordeaux. And then obviously Louis Bielbarri is lightning, so quick. You know, if you kick the ball ahead, you can guarantee he'll win a foot race. Not the biggest fella, but he's like a lightning. He's like a cheetah running after it. Theo at the Sugby wouldn't be a starter for me. I think there's better players, but you know, he's defensively he goes a bit high in the tackling, tends to get bumped off a bit, but attacking wise very good. But no, definitely a scary prospect for any team coming up against France. You know, easy enough to pick the forward pack. Not so easy to pick the backline. Of course, we know this man will start. I wouldn't pick Ntamack as my starting 10. I would pick Thomas Ramos. I think he's better at 10. I think he's a great general. He directs the play so well. Not the best defender either. As a fly half, you kind of get away with that. I like Leo Barre. I think he's a very good player. Glad to see him in the team. But yeah, I don't think he'll start. I think Ramos will go fullback, and then Ntamack will go 10. In the centres now, it is very hard to call. Gaetan is a player I haven't really seen much, I have to admit, but I hear great things about him. I know Antoine Frisch, I know how good he is. I don't think he's a crash ball player like people keep saying. I think he's more of a skillful player who has the ability to crash it if you need him. So he could be one of those, distributors, but he could also be a crash ball if you want him to be. I think France could use him that way. Now he played 13 for Munster, and Deporter plays 13 for Bordeaux, but he can play wing as well. So no, it'll be interesting now. That's the most exciting thing about France is they're unpredictable, you know. So definitely something that I'm looking forward to seeing this team the most. A lot of firepower. Oh, it's going to be exciting. France are definitely. I have no doubt they will do the 6-2 split because they have so much size and strength. So we talked about the starting pack, but I think um, if Jelonch was playing, I would say maybe he would start, but this just means in my mind more that you would start with Francois Crow and Paul Boudhent. I think it's a foregone conclusion that Gregory Aldry starts in the number 8 position. Then they can go on the bench. You don't want Cyril Boy getting injured. I would have him as the replacement, Lou said, just so he's safe. Give him a run out against Wales if you're winning. See how he goes. Um, it shows you how good Mauvaka is that Marchand would be on the bench, like two of these lads here. Marchand has 3 more caps than Mauvaka. But I mean, Mauvaka seized his opportunity in that World Cup. He really took it with both hands and just showed that he's the main man. Yeah, but these two hookers are both world class. You know, they're absolutely outstanding. Marchand being, you saw it, like in the turnover stats, he has 9 in the season. Jack Willis leading the way, but Toulouse players leading the way in turnovers. And yeah, Billy Vunipola getting a lot of turnovers for Montpellier, so that's impressive. Thought he was definitely finished, but you never know what happens in France. I think going to France can make or break players. You know, like you see average players going and they become brilliant, but you see great players like Julien Sauvé going and it completely breaks them. Um, Luke McAllister, another one. So, it's interesting to see. It's not for everyone. But then replacement tight head, I would go Slimani. I think although George Henri Colomb is good around the field, he's not great in the scrum. He gets popped up so easily. But against Wales, I don't think you're going to be tested that much. So perhaps it'll be two La Rochelle tight heads. Uini is your starter. I think you go with him. He's so experienced. It's great that we still have him for one more Six Nations, and I imagine he'll retire after that because he was supposed to be retired already, as was Taofifenua, the new Caledonian giant. And then I think he'll be on the bench as the replacement. Second row, you would also have, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Hearing a lot about Alagahu. Alagahu. We'll just call him Matthias. Yeah, again, a bit of excitement. Be good to see young Brennan getting on, Josh Brennan. But look, it's going to be a physical side. France are going to be exciting to watch. That we can be guaranteed. So, look, I'm looking forward to it. Six Nations is on, starting in 4 days. I cannot wait. So, this team I wanted to talk about the most would be France. And yeah, really glad I made that one. I'm going to be releasing videos on every team this week, guys. So stay tuned and let me know what you think. Catch you in the next one.